or not, this laying in front of me is a dehumidifier. Taken apart. Now you're going to need a few tools. A good heavy hammer, a large screwdriver, and if you can afford it, get a grinder. This here comes very in handy. I'll show you a little later how it's used. First thing you want to do is to take the sides off your dehumidifier. Hey, this don't have to be pretty. You don't have to sit there and unscrew it. I take a hammer and I break it up. Just simple as that. There's some parts in there that you want. Always have a good pair of gloves. And eye covering. These are essential tools that you need. Eye covering, hammer, a good long heavy screwdriver, and a cutting or grinding tool. This comes very in handy. It saves a lot of time, but when I first started out, I didn't have one. But I'll show you how to use it. If you could get one, this is a good thing to invest in it. I won't tell you the name brand that I use until they start paying me. So this is what you do. You put on your eye covering. This is the part that you want. You take your grinder, and you cut the copper lines. Now remember, there's copper all through here. All this copper is worth something. You want to save it. Get you a bucket. Get a bucket and put your copper in a bucket. That's money. That's a lot of money. These copper lines, they're also money. You want to save anything that's copper. A lot of people save the copper wire in there and they burn it later. But right now, we'll get to that later. I'm just showing you the basic and the most expensive things that you need. The things that you need and most expensive in an air conditioner or a dehumidifier. This here, after you get all the copper out and you get the core out, this here goes in the regular junk pile. Yes, you get money for that also. Sometimes these copper lines have foam around the edge of it. I don't like to waste any time doing it. So what I usually do is take my grinder, Go down the edge of the foaming. Sometimes you miss a few ties. No big deal. Go down the edge of the foaming. Peel the foaming off. The copper tubing is exposed. Bend it up. Put it in the bucket. All right. This here, this is worth money. I take this and throw it in the truck. And take it down to the junkyard also. Now, here we come. These cores here, these cores are worth money, but first you have to do something to them. These ridges on the end of it, you have to take them off, and you have to separate the tin from the aluminum. Now you can send it in just like this, and you'll get paid for dirty aluminum. If you separate it, you'll get paid for clean aluminum, and it's worth a lot more money. Depending on where you're at and how much your landfill charge, it could be worth 65 cents a pound or up. Now this is how you take it off. I use my grinder. And just go down the edges and take off the copper. Let it fall right in the bucket, my copper bucket. Now, this is what we did. We took these off. See, they're off. Now there's still some little stubs sticking out. Now if you take the time to get these little stubs and clean them off with your grinder, this tin part is easier to come off. You do it like this. We got all that side off. So now I take my screwdriver and I stick it down in here, and if I cleaned it off good enough, sometimes you need to take the little hammer and give it a hit. There you go. This here part's come right off. And that's the way it looks. I throw that in the truck. And I work on this side. Same thing. Now in a minute I'm going to show you others that I took apart today. And this is the finished product of what you want. Air conditioners, dehumidifiers, car radiators. Anything with cores in it or aluminum in it, you can find laying around. Also, if you look for car rims, steel car rims, But you have to take the tire off. If the tire is on there, they charge you less, they give you less money for it. Alright, let's take this end off and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. 1 minute. Now remember, if you take the time to take your grinder to go up and down here, this here would be easier to come off, see? Comes right off. Sometimes you have to use the hammer, sometimes you don't. But it usually comes right off. Alright, I'm going to show you some end products of what I've done today. As I said, this is very easy, and it don't take a rocket scientist to do it. Hey, I see ladies down at the landfill or the junkyard bringing in junk, tin cans, radiators, heater cores, air conditioner cores, making a few dollars. Help pay the rent, help buy the baby some milk, or baby need a new pair of shoes. Alright, let's look at some finished products of what I did today. First, I'm going to show you my bucket of copper. 1 minute.